G'day Eagles fans, welcome to Ask Simmo, presented by ECU. It's the fans' chance to ask the questions each week, and the winner, which Simmo selects, will win a Superstore voucher. And the first question this week comes from Marie Brigg on Facebook, and she says, "Hi coach, what more can be done to get Shuey back to full health? Now once a player has soft tissue injuries and you've done so much to get him right, what's next? A different position or manage game time? Boots was awesome Saturday. Must be very frustrating for him and all."
Yeah, we managed his game time. We went in with a plan, so I think he might have been on his way off when he felt a grab. So really disappointing for him. Just can't get over that last hurdle. It's been 2 or 3 times now in the last year and a bit where it gets to a certain point in the game or training where he just doesn't get through. So yeah, we'll look at all avenues. You know, we've got a really good team behind us with the medicos. So yeah, not quite sure yet, but we've got to do something different.
He does everything at 100%, doesn't he? Trains and plays at 100%.
Yeah, which, I mean, that builds good resilience for when you play. So you can't have him doing nothing and then he just comes out and plays the way he does. He's just so dynamic. So it's finding it really hard to say don't run as fast. It's not in him. So we've got to find a different way.
It's a good question. This one also comes from Kevin Bull. He says, "Hi Adam, thanks for doing these Ask Simmo questions. They're great for the fans to get a first-hand insight. Can you ask about Jared Brander? What did you think of his game Saturday? And will we see him selected more regularly?"
Well, yeah, I mean, if he holds his spot, which I think he will, form dictates whether he gets in the side or not. He's a fourth-year player, I think. We've been really scratching to try and find a spot for him in the side, find a position, and when we do find it, we try and work it through the waffle. Last year there was no waffle games and we had a lot of 11v11 scrimmage work, so he's had a bit of a new role this year, and he played 2 or 3 games at waffle level, did it really well, and then we brought him in with the same role. So yeah, I thought it was probably his best game for the club. He's probably played 10 or 12 games for us, so we're hoping his game sense and game awareness picks up, but his impact on the game was probably the best it's been.
And he kicked a goal, which was nice as well. Now, the next question comes from Kevin Clark on Facebook. Good on you, Kev. How do you get the boys to maintain that ruthless intent they showed in the first half Saturday night for a whole game to really put the sword to other teams?
I'm not happy with the game on the weekend. Yeah, actually, to be honest, I was a little frustrated in the second half. And to hit that standard in the early part of the season, I was really proud of our players, and they were ruthless. Yeah, I thought the Bulldogs game we were really resilient and we held in there. But no, we started on the right note. We just couldn't sustain it. So obviously our goal is to play like that for 4 quarters. Don't know how easy that's going to be against sides like Port, but yeah, we dropped away in the second half. Not through effort. I just think Port might have worked their way through some of the things we were doing pretty well. But yeah, good signs early.
Good question too. Danielle Smith on Facebook says, "Hey Simmo, just curious why Langdon didn't play. According to stats on AFL.com, he was ranked first for average speed and second for work rate in the attack before this week's game against Port. He was unlucky?"
He was a little bit unlucky. Yeah, he plays a specific role for us. He got knocked out 3 weeks ago. He then broke his nose last week, and it was still bleeding. It bled for 24 hours. Had a couple little fractures in there, so part of it was form, but part of it was just his body's a bit banged up. We wanted to give him a bit of a break, so he was going to play at Waffle, and then Archie missed out late, so he came in and he was our sub. So yeah, it's a marathon for Zach in that position. He's just starting off with the club, so we're going to give him some time.
Lee Bolton on Twitter, "Sometimes we see you, Adam, get very upset in the box even when the team is dominating. In terms of reviewing a game," it's a good question actually, "would the general vibe be similar for the win against Port as it was for a loss against the Dogs, or are you critical on one more than the other?"
Oh, I'm always more happy when we win. let's be honest. We try and be consistent, but it's just, we're human. And I'm at my worst in the box when we're up by a lot, because I feel like if we lose it from here, it's my fault. So I feel, yeah, you're looking for perfection, and look, we had some things in the second half that were just a little bit off, and that's what I was getting frustrated at, and I could see some plays working out in the negative. So I will show them today though. So yeah, we won't be going too lightly on our players. We do the same type of review, just a bit more energy in the negatives sometimes and the positives.
Nothing gets past the fans. They keep an eye on you, that's for sure. And so does Satoshi Ueda on Facebook. He says, "Simmo, just a very casual question, this one, I like this. What do you like to do as a routine of a game when you have a nighttime match? Personally, your game day routine ahead of a night fixture, Adam."
I don't know how honest I can be here. So this week I mowed the lawns and I had a beer over lunch. I don't know.
Pre-game.
Lunchtime, but a night game. So, I'm not playing.
No,
So
I'm
it's okay
clarifying.
to have a beer over lunch. So
Yep.
I find that is just what I did this time. It's not actually a routine, but I'm thinking about making it a routine.
You should after the weekend. Nice work. Hey, Josh Barry on Facebook asks, on such a big night for key forwards, is Tom Barris's game on Charlie Dixon somewhat unrecognised? To keep such a powerful forward to not a single scoring shot is a fantastic job.
It was, and look, the players are human. So last time we played Port, he had a day out, Dixon. I think he kicked 4 or 5. They did a lot of work to block Barras out. So this time around, we planned a bit differently, but he had a real focus. I think he was a bit nervous before the game, but he's our trademark player from the players. They voted on that, and he's been so good this year, and he's gone through a lot, but the way he's playing has been sensational.
Certainly has been. Well, let's hope we can get the question of the week thanks to ECU. This could be, you can tick off. You've got to tick off on it. I've got nothing to do with it. I'm throwing it up there. If you like it, go with it. Harrison Naylor on Twitter says, what do you think is the number one misconception that fans have when assessing if a player has played well or not?
The obvious one is stats. People look at stats, but I think our supporters, most of them look a bit deeper than that. So I suppose where I get frustrated is if we have a player who's playing a role for us and that's not acknowledged because people just don't know. That's probably the misconception about someone who plays a really good role for us. It doesn't have an impact on the scoreboard or on the game, but might have freed up other people or allowed us to defend in a certain way. That's probably what we look at, but I understand why people don't see it. So, yeah, I don't know how I answered that question. It was a good one, but I like the first question better.
You like the question from Marie Brigg about Luke Shuey's health?
Oh, was that the first one?
Or did you like the bit about where you had the beer pre-game and mowed the lawn?
They're all pretty good questions.
Yeah, well, we haven't got 25 vouchers, so you've got to give
Maybe
one.
I should leave it to you.
We'll work it out for next week. We'll work it out. We'll be in touch with the winner of the Team Store
what did
voucher.
I get? Team Store
voucher.
Oh, right. Oh, that's pretty important then.
Yeah.
No, I will leave it up to you then.
Nice handball over the top hospital. Lots of great merch at our superstore at Mineral Resources Park. Thanks.
Oh, gosh.
Nice work. This has been Simmo, thanks to ECU.